Hi everybody, Derek Haas here, and this is our Memorial Day edition of Happy Hour with Derek. I am here with Colin McClure. He is a project manager for us in the IT department. Colin, welcome.
Hey, cheers.
We are obviously here enjoying the sunshine and trying to enjoy some great beers. So, really, we wanted to just kind of bring some attention to Memorial Day and kind of why we all get to celebrate a 3-day holiday. And Colin is a vet with us, and he is one of our great employees, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about some of that stuff. So, Colin, why do we get a 3-day weekend for Memorial Day?
Well, I can tell you right now, it did not start for everybody to barbecue.
Okay.
What I will ask is that, this is a day of remembrance. It's a day that, 150 years ago, they would go out and they would decorate the graves of the fallen soldiers with flowers. And so that's how the day started. And since then, it essentially became a day in which we asked everybody in everybody in America to remember those who have fallen in sacrifice. Not just remember the fallen, remember the families who have dealt with it. It's important to note that while there are plenty of mattress sales out there, and that's a favorite of this weekend, that it's to honor those who have sacrificed. Since 1776, there's been over 1.3 million service members who have given their life. And we like to say freedom isn't free here, and that toll shows that. And so it's a time where we take a moment to reflect on the values and the privileges that we get to have being in this great country at the sacrifice of some individuals.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't know that myself, so I appreciate you bringing that to attention. So you served, right?
I did, yes.
And when and where?
Yeah, so I was in Iraq 2009, 2010 in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation New Dawn as a medic. I'm fortunate to have the experience.
Yeah, well, thank you for your service, and thank all the vets out there for their service. Too many have lost their lives, and we need to remember that this is really why we're celebrating. So we learned recently about a cause that you're involved in.
Sure.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
I'd love to. So I'm affiliated with a group called Vets in Tech. It's an organization just recently started about 6-7 months ago. Our group was set up to help returning veterans coming from either active duty or coming from overseas or whatever sort of reintegration that they were going to be going through. We wanted to be there to assist them in finding avenues to take skill sets they learned in the military and apply them in the world, in the civilian life. In particular with a focus on information technology. That's an industry that is very obviously technically heavy and requires a broad range of skill sets. And so it's very intimidating for veterans especially.
I can imagine, yeah.
And so we want to be able to provide a platform for them to know that, what they may be told as they're leaving their active duty station isn't necessarily the only path they can take, and we provide them tools and resources that will enable them to better integrate back into the civilian world and find employment. We have keynote speakers that show up, and they basically in higher level positions within the IT world, and they talk about their experiences and how they were able to take what they learned in the military and apply it into their civilian job. And it's been a great following. We've had over 300 members now.
Wow.
Our groups are getting more and more constructive, we'll say. The conversations are great. And
That's awesome.
I do want to thank Columbia. Makes me even more proud to work for this company. One of the first sponsors, actually. One of the first sponsors to give us official sponsorship. Them in collaboration with Dog Tag Brewing. So thank you, Dog Tag, for the thing you guys are doing. One of the first one to provide beverages for each event. I can say personally, on our last group meetup, our keynote speaker had just gotten back from Washington, D.C., and he's involved in a project where he's digitizing veteran records from the first time that they were even being collected to now, and basically just getting them set in a database that will be eternal. And he was absolutely blown away by the sponsorship. It's just the recognition.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's it's surprisingly more difficult being in an environment where there isn't a military base close by. And so that sponsorship and that recognition by Columbia and Dog Tag was greatly appreciated.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Well, if you want to hear more, definitely send us a DM, or Colin's information will be in the body of this post as well. So please, obviously the program's in its infancy, but it's definitely going places, and we're really excited to be a part of it. Obviously, Colin's extremely passionate about it, as we all should be. You know, that's you know, the cause behind it, the reason for the season, so they say, for Memorial Day. But you know, another thing that we do a lot in Memorial Day is we barbecue. So we pulled some great beers that this great vet and I are going to kind of taste through a little bit today, and just kind of talk about the beers that we'd probably be drinking on this great long weekend full of this beautiful sunshine. So I pulled some beers from kind of one end of the spectrum all the way down to the next. We're going to start with some ciders. This one's actually, you want to grab a fresh glass? Colin's triple fisting at this point. So this is a great cider from Seattle Cider Company, obviously in Seattle. This is their dry. It's 16-ounce can and draft, but you can see, you know, the clarity of ciders is so beautiful. You know, the fruitiness of them, really perfect to drink when this sunshine finally decides to bless us with its presence. But what do you think of that one?
That is so smooth. Really dry.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's way too sessionable. That's dangerous.
That's scary sessionable is I think what I just heard him say. But Two Towns also makes a great cider. They're bright cider. These are both kind of on the drier end of that. But again, you know, get out there and enjoy those for the long weekend. I also brought out some great Pilsners. This one would be from Firestone Walker, their Pivo Pilsner. These guys are out of Northern California. And then our great friends at Hopworks with their Pilsner. I guess bottoms up, or I got a fresh glass. You might need to open one up. Firestone or Hopworks, what would you prefer to try?
Let's keep it local. Let's go with Hopworks.
Okay, keep it local. So this is Hopworks, Southeast Portland. This is previously the Hub Lager. They basically rebranded it exactly the same. So it's down in the smaller can, the 12-ounce, and yeah, same beer. So I'll pour for myself first because that's what most good hosts do. And as you can see here, again, just another really great barbecue beer. Real light in color. You know, just a real beautiful, light, easy drinking Pilsner, perfect for, you know, burgers and dogs on the grill, or the mattress sales that Colin was talking about earlier. You know, it goes well with those as well. So. Oh God, that's good. Great choice, Colin. Thank you. So moving on, we're going to move out of the lighter body cidered and beer styles and move into our friends from Worthy Brewing Company out of Bend. They just created this Stoker Red Ale. For those of you that aren't familiar with the Red Ale, it's very similar to the Amber, both of which get their name from the color of the beer. As you will see here, it's a sin to waste beer, but I needed my glass. So it's definitely very similar in color to the Amber Ale. You know, real nice, fairly balanced style. Not too hop forward, but real nice sweet maltiness. Again, all the beers I chose today were some that you could drink multiple of with the sunshine, and you know, when you're out enjoying the weekend, whether it's a long one like this one or just any weekend with the great barbecue involved. But I really do like this beer. What do you think of that one?
Yes.
Not bad, right?
We're gonna go
So we're kind of breezing through these a little fast. Obviously, we wouldn't recommend sampling through quite this fast. You know, you want to enjoy them, but for the sake of keeping your attention, we're going to kind of breeze through these a little faster. So the next one is from another Bend brewery from Silver Moon. This is the Get Some Pale Ale. They launched these cans, I would say in the spring of last year, but have had tremendous success with it. Look at Colin, cleaned his glass out real quick. But I like this pale because it's a little more on the hoppier side. So IBUs are going to be up a little bit higher. And we remember from last week, the IBUs are the international bitterness units. So the higher that number is, the more bitterness you're going to get out of that beer, whether it's going to be in the nose from heavy dry hopping, or if they're going to put a lot of hops in the boil. That's where you're going to get that. So what's your favorite beer style, Mr. McClure?
Oh, gosh. You know, I've been gravitating lately to pale ales.
Okay, what do you think of this pale ale?
I was just...
Look at that segue. That was not planned, folks. He really wants a pale ale right now.
I mean, if I had to go out, pick up a six-pack, probably pick this one. That is phenomenal. Look at the cans.
Listen to that sales pitch. He's in IT, but he should be in sales. But yeah, you know, really, the progression of this is going to go from light to dark, and the pale the pale and the red, for that matter, are really great gateway beers. You know, they're easy to drink. You know, they still have that full flavor. The alcohol by volume, the ABV is going to be a little bit lower, but really a great beer to have in the cooler when you're out on the boat, or, you know, barbecuing, doing whatever, chilling and grilling. So the next beer we're going to talk about is kind of the first that we've talked about in these segments that's got, oh, I just learned how to do that, that has a little bit more citrus in it. So this is the Ballast Point Grapefruit Sculpin. So this is an IPA that is the it's definitely always can be found in my fridge. It's about 7% alcohol, real nice grapefruitness. You get some from the grapefruit they put in it, but you get a lot of citrus out of the Citra hops as well. So, you ready for more?
Yeah.
So this is, like I said, one of my all-time favorites. I just think it's the perfect balance of hoppiness, bitterness, and sweetness. You know, to me, none of those are really overpowering. But it's an extremely balanced beer. You know, yes, it is 7% ABV, so be careful if you drink multiple. But it's definitely one of those ones that you're really your guests are gonna be proud of you for having it in the refrigerator. So let me.
Hey Derek, we have a question. Christina B wants to know if someone doesn't like a hoppy style beer, what would be a good choice for them?
That's a great question, Christina. You know, the styles we started with, the lagers and the pilsners, those are definitely great beers that aren't going to be hoppy. They're going to be more like your domestic beer with a little bit more craft flavor to them. So we all know that no matter what of these you're going to have in your ice chest at home, there's going to be plenty of Pabst, Coors Light, Corona, Pacifico, all that good stuff. So those are all great offerings without hops. But if you're looking for a craft beer without hops, you know, the pilsners are always the best way to start. But you can look at the reds, and like we talked about the ambers, they're going to be a lot more sweeter than they are going to be bitter. So definitely, Christina, that's the route I would go for that. So great question, and appreciate you chiming in on that. So I'm going to try some of this grapefruit sculpin because I haven't had any yet today. So another IPA I brought that we actually kind of don't have enough time or glasses to taste through would be the brand new Mosaic IPA from Crux. It's their Gimme Mo. Another really awesome beer. This one's going to be a lot more on the bitter side, so Christina B, you're probably not going to want to try that one too much, but you know, all great styles, all great beers, all great brewers that are constantly making great stuff. So anything you can try, just remember to try it all with an open mind. But if you stick to that kind of baseline that we just talked about, I think it'll help you next time you're standing in the beer aisle at your local retailer as far as what you're looking to drink. So the one thing that you may notice that Colin and I are both doing, because it's, you know, it's our favorite time of the week, it's Happy Hour with Derek Thursdays at 4, but it's starting to get warm, so we need to make sure we're keeping our beer cold. We're you know, oh god, I'm shaking, not letting our hands warm the beers up. So the importance of a koozie is very important. So if you don't have any koozies at home, find your local Columbia sales guy, and I'm sure he'll get some for you. So I don't really have anything else to say. Colin, did you want to touch more on anything Vets and Tech, or any of your favorite beers? Or
Well, actually, I had some questions.
Oh yes,
That's okay.
a Q&A, an unprompted Q&A. I'm excited for this.
And so, you know, what styles of beer would you say this summer are starting to become the most popular? What is new? What is out there that maybe, you know, that some of our suppliers are trying for the first time that we haven't tried before?
Okay.
That, you know, are
Why don't you touch on some hazy beers too? Those are really popular.
Okay, I'm getting it from a couple different angles here, so I'm going to do my best to answer both those questions. Colin's got a great question. It's one that we're asked constantly from our supplier partners, is, you know, kind of what's the next hot style? And obviously we talked cider, Pilsner Lager, reds, pales, IPAs, but you know, those are you know, pretty common styles. A lot of the brewers out there are coming out with sours or sessionable sours. We've kind of touched on this on a few other episodes, but you know, like a Berliner Weiss is definitely something that's going to be lower in ABV. It's going to be something that you're going to be able to drink more of. Personally, I drink them slower, so I don't necessarily drink more of them because of the tartness that you're going to get from that. But it's really a really fun, unique style. You know, we're seeing more and more people go, more and more suppliers go to the lighter styles because they are becoming that much more popular. But Gozas, Goozes, lambics, you know, Berliner Weisses, as I said. Really, it's styles that the American population's not super comfortable with, and super used to, that are new to us, and that's really what a lot of the brewers are chasing after. So Ballast Point, they just came out with a Sea Rose. It's a real nice tart, light. You should see it. It's beautiful. I wish I had a glass of it here. It's beautifully red. You know, Two Towns is also doing a great job with their Prickle Me Pink. It's actually it's a cider. It's this base cider, I believe. Don't quote me on that. With prickly pear, and it is the most beautiful pink, the liquid, and it's absolutely delicious. Seattle Cider's got their berry. So everybody's really just seasonally trying to go more towards, you know, the stuff that's going to be more easy, more enjoyable to drink when the sun's out. And at the end of the day, really what we're doing when we're drinking beer is we're creating experiences, and that's really what we as Columbia Distributing are constantly trying to make things better. Is whether you're sitting on a picnic table in front of a beautiful river, the experience that you're enjoying is, you know, it can always be tied to the style of beer you're drinking. To me, I will always go to a Modelo Especial or a Tecate or something like that when the sun goes out. But, you know, some people like a stout when it's nice out. Sure. So, I mean, I wish I could just give you an answer to that question that just says, you know, this is what everybody's doing. But the innovation in the beer business is really hard. And you know, everybody's just looking for, you know, to create something that's delicious, and, you know, people can get behind, people can drink, people can appreciate. So really, we're just trying to make the experience the best for you, the consumer out there. So I think next week you'll have to tune in to get the answer to that hazy IPA question, because I don't have 45 minutes to go over that today, and I don't think you guys would either. So get out there, enjoy the sunshine. I can't thank all of our vets, Colin specifically, but thank you for all that you do, and go out there and enjoy this beautiful Memorial Day, and go drink some beer and have some fun with some friends. So thank you, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
Thank you.